Okay.
If everybody will take their places.
Folks, quiet, please.
If everyone will settle down, we will begin the ceremony. Mrs. Peters.
Yes, sir.
Friends and good neighbors, we are gathered here today to celebrate a joyous occasion that will serve forever as a cornerstone for this valley's peace and happiness.
I don't understand, Dio. What can make a man change that fast?
I don't know, Laredo. I guess Buck always had a yellow streak in him. When that stranger came to town preaching the gospel of peace, old Buck just knuckled under.
I never seen a man that could outdraw Buck.
Oh, anybody can outdraw that old fool. That's why he gave in so quick. He ain't the man he used to be.
After all the years we gave him, doing his dirty work, ran us out of town like a couple of strangers. That low-down, double-crossing skunk. He's probably at Blazes right now bragging about it.
Nobody crosses D.O. Foster and lives to talk about it. For long. Nobody.
This asthma attack didn't have to...
Sister Christina.
Oh, hi. I'm Tina Roberts. It's nice to meet you.
Would you care for tea or coffee?
Oh, are you allowed to drink coffee?
Yes, but I'll pass for now, thank you.
So, how long have you been a nun?
Well, I just took my final vows last summer, but I entered the order when I was 18.
Oh, please have a seat.
Father Walker told me about your loss, and I'll include the baby in my prayers.
Thank you. Sister, would you ever deliberately lie?
Well, I can't say that I've never told one in my life, but...
Well, I mean, isn't that like a terrible sin? I mean, especially for a nun. I mean, especially for a top nun.
A top nun?
Yeah, Mother Superior.
Well, no deliberate guilt is of little consequence. There are some sins that are more grave than others, of course, but the scale's the same for everyone. Do you have reason to believe that a Mother Superior has lied to you?
Yes. This private investigator in Venice asked the Mother Superior if my baby was at the convent. She said he wasn't, and he has reason to believe that she was lying.
I'm sure the Mother Superior wouldn't lie about your baby, Tina. Unless, of course, there were extenuating circumstances.
Well, like what?
Well, during the Second World War, the sisters harbored Jewish children and lied to the Gestapo.
So if the Mother Superior felt that she couldn't trust Alfredo, that he was like a danger to the baby, then they would lie to him.
Possibly.
Or if Lita told her that Rollo was going to kill the baby, then they'd do anything to protect him?
Lita and Rollo are the ones that took your child?
Yes, and Lita hid the baby before Rollo killed her, and I've got to find him, don't you see?
When I arrive at the convent, I'll talk to the Mother Superior and try to get some answers for you.
Thank you. When do you leave for Venice?
Well, I'm due at the convent next week, and I promise I'll do everything I can to help you find your baby. Well, I'll see myself out.
Thank you. Have a safe trip and a very rewarding time in Venice.
If any man shall know just cause why they may not be lawfully married, let him speak now. or else hereafter forever hold his peace. Cody Vasquez. Buck Buchanan, will you have this woman for thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love her, comfort her, and honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Dorothy Pardee, will you have this man to be thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony?
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Songs of a rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, live while I hold thee with soft harmony. Then will all clouds of sorrow depart. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me.
Love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance. Thereto, I plight thee my troth.
I, Mae McGillis, take you, Cody Vasquez, to be my wedded husband, to have and hold through better and worse, sickness and in health, to love and cherish till death do us part. By God's holy ordinance, I give you my troth.
Those whom God hath joined together, that no man put asunder. Buck and Dorothy, and I pronounce you man and wife. Cody and May, I also pronounce thee man and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Well, right.
Some dancing music.
Mr. Vasquez, may I have this dance?
I would be honored, Mr. Vasquez.
Well, all right.
Mrs. Buchanan.
Oh, the two most beautiful words in the English language.
Miss Fletcher, now you can do one or two things. You can keep staring daggers at me, or you can dance with me. Which one's it gonna be?
Since the dawn of time, they have hungered, longing for a...
I think I ought to take you out on a dance floor before you change your mind.
There is no need to rush, Mr. Buchanan. I have discovered that it is quite impossible for me to be angry with you for long.
I'm just sorry as hell. I beg your pardon. I'm just real sorry that you were angry at all. I swear I wasn't making fun, and I didn't mean to do anything to hurt you. Almost broke my little heart when you ran out of here yesterday.
Is there a remedy for a broken heart?
I heard somewhere that a little bitty smile could do it. Much obliged. How about that dance? I suppose maybe you could just relax a little bit and sort of enjoy the music.
My goodness, you're as bossy as Buck.
Blaze doesn't mind.
Yes, well, as they say in these parts, She gives as good as she gets.
Spoken like a native.
I have a fairly good ear.
You like Blaze, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do, very much. Now, does that surprise you?
As a matter of fact, it does. Oh, it's not that I don't think she's a wonderful person and everything. It's just...
But to tell you the truth, I have never met anyone quite like her before.
Maybe because you haven't let yourself.
I will admit that that is entirely true, Mr. Buchanan. And I find that I am very grateful to her for the way she has extended her friendship to me.
That silk shawl was a whole lot of gratitude.
But I have no use for it.
You could have worn it at your wedding. Look, now, look, please don't go into a tailspin. The only reason I brought it up is because I'm very interested in your welfare. And I think you're doing yourself a big disservice by acting like your life is over.
My life is by no means over, Mr. Buchanan. There are any number of sights that I plan to see, people I want to meet, and books that I would like to read. I have 1,001 plans for my future. It just happens that marriage is not one of them.
You can't be...
I long ago abandoned the notion that I would ever marry.
You can't be sure of that.
Mr. Buchanan, I have not been sure of very many things in my life. However, one thing that I can see with absolute clarity is my certain spinster.
Take my word for something, Miss Fletcher. Nothing in this life is for certain. And the name is Clint, not Mr. Buchanan.
Have you noticed, Clint, that most of the women in this room who are my age already have grandchildren?
The ladies in the West get married at a younger age. But that is no reason to count yourself out. As a matter of fact, I will stick to my earlier prediction that you are going to get married, have children, and a whole passel of great-grandchildren. In fact, I will bet on it.
Is that so?
That's so.
Well, in that case, I find it a great shame that I do not believe in gambling, because this is one wager that I would love to make and win. I thank you for your debts.
So if you'll sign above your name, then I'll sign above mine.
Why so formal and legal-like? We're family.
Max, $50,000 is serious business. And besides, it's not that complicated a document. It just says I borrowed the money from you. I intend to pay it back.
So why bother?
Otherwise, I won't take the money.
Are there any other little surprises you have up your sleeve, like maybe telling Steve where you really got the money?
Oh, I inherited it from my father.
You're getting the hang of this.
Yeah, you don't know how much I'm getting the hang of this.
Say what?
Nothing. Why don't you go ahead and sign there, and I'll sign.
All right. I guess this will change all your plans, so you want to head back to Arizona, put this in the bank, and start looking at those calves and horses.
Actually, I think I'll just put it into my account here, because Tina's still so worried about Malaga. I'd like to stay around.
All right. Got one copy for me, one copy for you, and the envelope, please.
Thank you.
Listen, like I said, if you want to go after the brass ring.
Yes, and I do.
And I'm betting on you to make it.
I hope so. Max, will you have dinner with me tonight? It's my treat. Listen, I owe it to you.
Oh, that sounds terrific, but I'm sorry. I have to go out of town on a quick business trip. Tell you what, how about tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Yeah, you, me, and Tina.
Well, you have a good trip.
Great.
This just arrived for you, miss.
Oh, already? Well, put him on the chair there. Thank you. Vicky? Hi, it's me.
Hello, darling. I've been thinking of calling you all morning. How are you?
Fine. Is there any word on Clint?
No. Bo and Asa have gone out again with some volunteers.
Well, maybe today will be the day that they find him.
He's been alone so long in the desert. If indeed he is in the desert.
Vicky, please, everything is going to be fine. You have to believe that.
Most of the time I do. You just caught me at a bad moment.
Well, I guess then it's time for the Vicki Buchanan lecture number 32, and it goes like...
Please, I know it. I know it by heart. Tell me, how are you, really?
I'm okay. Well, I'm up and down, really. But you know what? I went to talk to Father Walker, and you know what he suggested? He suggested I go on a retreat for a few days.
A retreat? A religious retreat?
Yeah, and, well, I think it'll be a very good idea. In fact, well, I'm such a wreck right now. I think I'm going to leave today.
Tina, I don't really think you should go off alone.
Vicki, it's the best thing for me, really, and I will be fine. So don't worry about me. I'll be just fine. But you know what I want you to do while I'm gone? I want you to take good care of yourself. I want you to eat right, and I want you to get plenty of rest, okay? And don't give in to despair, because the minute you give in to this despair, you're never going to pull out of it. Trust me. I know, so listen to me, okay?
I will. Take care of yourself. I love you.
Oh, I love you, too. And say hi to the kids for me, all right?
I will.
Bye-bye. If I told you about the retreat beforehand, you'd want to go along. But I think it's best if we have a few days to ourselves to get over this latest heartbreak. I love you, Max, and we'll be home before you even have time to miss me. Love, Tina.
Tina? You wanna throw something at me?
Look, I'm sorry about all those really terrible things I said to you. I know you don't want to give up on looking for our baby.
Hey, Tina, this is hardly a sane situation. You're entitled to blow up every once in a while.
So I'm forgiven?
Yeah. Yeah, of course you are. This is kind of a different look for you. What'd you do, borrow one of Vicky's suits?
No, it's mine. I bought it for the retreat.
For the what?
The retreat. You know, where people go off into the woods and commune with nature and find peace. Father Walker suggested it, and, well, I thought it would be a good idea, because then you could deal with Vicki and Clint, and you wouldn't have to worry about me.
Tina, this is kind of a sudden change in feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's really going to be good for both of us. And besides, I mean, when we do get the baby back, religion is going to become a much more important part of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, okay, then. I'll call Alfredo, and I'll let him know where he can reach me in Arizona. You know, Tina, I think you're right. I think a rest will do you some good.
Yeah.
You know where to find me then, huh? Bye-bye.
Yes. Hello, Mother Superior. I'm Sister Christina from Landview. I hope you don't mind that I showed up here at the convent a week early. I don't think she'll mind at all.
What do you say we have ourselves an old-fashioned square dance, huh?
Wait up, everybody. Hey, first of all, even though you want a do-si-do until dawn, that's fine with me, but some of us have got to get out of here because they got the honeymoon to go on over at the Grand Canyon. But before that happens, the brides would like to keep up that tradition of throwing out the bouquet. So all you available young ladies, why don't you step forward, and you may change your futures and your fortunes. All right, honey. Ready? Here it comes.
Jenny, you didn't even try to catch him.
Dear, I see no point in acting the fool over something that will never be.
Well, you know, I don't think it ever hurt a lady to act a little foolish once or twice in her life.
Mr. Clint, have some punch.
Now, for your information and encouragement, ladies, I caught my first bouquet at Rebecca Dalton's wedding a year ago this month. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3.
I saw what you did.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, buddy, I'll tell you what. Miss Ginny is a little short on confidence.
That's right.
Maybe catching that bouquet will give her some.
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, you can't keep thinking that you're never going to have children. After all, she is your wife's great-grandmother. Oh, here she comes.
Well, looky here. Miss Ginny Fletcher caught the bouquet.
Indeed, I did. Dear me, will miracles never cease?
Well, I certainly hope not. Not for you, anyway. I gotta tell you, it's been a real pleasure meeting you and dancing with you. And I wish you a whole lifetime full of miracles.
Mr. Clint, the stagecoach to St. Louis apparently has run into some difficulty. And according to Mr. Adams, it will not be arriving in Buchanan City until tomorrow afternoon at the very earliest. So we really do not need to say our goodbyes just now, do we?
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. First thing in the morning, I'm heading back home.
Liz is livid as Joan Rivers dates her Malcolm Forbes. Enquire within.
We've got what you want, the way that you want it. Enquire within.
Michael Douglas is romancing an heiress, and his wife says, okay.
Enquire within.
Cosby threatens to fire Lisa Bonet.
18 million people read us for a tip or a grin. 'Cause we've got what you want, the way that you want it.
Of the many new forms of weight control, how many include beef stroganoff with real sour cream or honey glazed turkey with white and wild rice? New Slim Select entrees from the Budget Gourmet, all for a remarkably slim price.
Split an onion, wrap half in saran wrap, wrap the other half in any other plastic wrap. Smell. If saran wrap doesn't keep odor in better, we'll refund your money and buy you the wrap of your choice. Saran wrap. Nothing protects food better. We guarantee it.
A lot of cough syrups contain an ingredient that has no effect on a cough, alcohol, up to 20%. New Contact Cough Formula has no alcohol and is just as effective for your cough. Now, which would you rather take? Contact.
Don't be so mean to your hair, baby. Get hot.
VO5 hot oil treatment. 1 minute, once a week to help undo the mean things you do every day. So hair looks healthy, radiant, ooh, hot.
Get hot.
VO5 hot oil.
Tonight, following your late local news, join hosts Frank.
Why do I feel like Dorothy entering back into the land of Oz?
Oh, it's just nerves. Don't worry about it.
Well, this place does hold some terrifying memories.
We program to bring you an Eyewitness News special.
Sarah?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. What were you saying?
Yeah, well, that's obvious. Are you okay?
Vicky, Sarah.
Cord, we're in here.
Oh, hey, Sarah, how you doing? Good. Man, I was right after something else.
I thought you weren't coming in till this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I got lucky. I picked up a cancellation.
Great. Well, your uncle and I are in here looking at a map of the area.
Well, you must be Bo, the one I've heard so much about.
Cord, glad to finally meet you. Sorry it's under these circumstances.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've been a great help to both Vicky and Asa. Vicky says that your coming out here, though, has caused some problems in Europe.
Family's the only thing that matters right now, Cord.
Yeah. Listen, I want you to know I'm ready to do whatever you need me to do so we can find my pa.
Clint, I know you're kind of partial to that little gray mare, Maisie. Mm-hmm. I raised her. She's out there in the corral. I'd like for you to have her.
I wish I could pay you for her.
No, you earned her. Just take good care of her.
I'll do that.
Well, it's a shame you got to leave so soon. I know May and Cody would like to see you off before they left for the Grand Canyon.
Well, we said our goodbyes before they left on their honeymoon.
It's some honeymoon. Riding for days and go look at a hole in the ground.
Where's Buddy?
I think he's still asleep.
Well, I'll get Maisie saddled, and I'll see him before I leave. Monroe, I want to thank you for taking me in the way you did. I know it wasn't easy to trust a complete stranger.
Now, hold on a minute here. If anybody is going to thank anybody around here, it's going to be me. You know, before you showed up, Buck about whipped me and all the other farmers into giving up our land. And then you come along and somehow or other you convinced all of us that even though we had our differences, we could still work together and live along together side by side. Clint, I don't rightly know where it is you're going to, but I pray that when you get there, you'll find the same kind of peace and harmony that you brought here to us.
Thank you, Monroe, for everything.
Godspeed, my friend.
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows.
Ollie, look at the time. I'm afraid I'm not going to make the party for Melinda.
No, you'll be able to make it.
I wasn't here in time for the big surprise, but I do wish you all the best.
Thank you, Donald. Maybe we'll have a chance to finish that interview we started.
I certainly hope so. You know, you are my very favorite talk show hostess.
Well, thanks to you, I'll be able to prove that.
And I know that you can have a long and successful career here at the station.
Donald, will you excuse us for a minute?
Yes, of course.
Thanks. Auntie, are you all right? I mean, you're shaking. You seem to be shook up. Maybe this was a mistake for you to come back so early. Maybe we should have waited another week. I was all right until, Until what? Until Donald Lamar walked off. Isn't that weird? The man saved my life. I shouldn't feel uncomfortable around him. Well, maybe you're connecting him to everything that happened at Mountain View. You think that's it? Well, look, you almost died there. Look, that is not something you can just shrug off. Well, I'm going to get over that right now because you went to a lot of trouble to have this party, and I'm not going to spoil it. Good. Okay.
Look, I understand your feelings, Rob, and I want you to know that I put together a special task force. Now, if there is any connection between Kellogg and the mob, we are going to find it.
Forgive me if I sound skeptical about the effectiveness of bureaucratic teamwork, but I intend to continue my own investigation.
I would really appreciate it, Rob, if you left the investigating to the professionals.
My father was killed by professionals, so I'm not giving up until I find whoever the power was behind Kellogg. Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe Cassie needs some help with refreshments. Need a hand?
Yeah. You having a good time?
So a few minutes ago,
Why? Is something wrong?
nothing I can't handle.
Good.
I like surprise parties, especially when the guest of honor shows up.
Oh, no. Do you remember that?
How could I forget? We were only married about a month.
Oh, right. And here I planned this whole surprise party for you, and I got the days wrong.
And I stayed late at work.
Oh, no. The funniest part about that whole thing was the guy whose car broke down outside. He came in to use the phone. When he knocked on the door, I will never forget the look on his face. We all yelled, "Surprise!" Oh, God.
Is this a private joke, or can anyone get in on it?
Well, Rob and I are just rehashing some of my big last flop-up.
Oh, I see. Well, you'll have to tell me about it sometime.
Well, I guess I should take Melinda some punch. After all, she is the party girl.
Okay. I can
tell by that look on your face that something is up. What is it?
Well, there is. Now, can we go somewhere private now that we've made our appearance?
You want me to leave the party? John, I can't. I mean, I'm the one throwing the party. I can't leave until it's over. Besides, you've been on the phone since you got here. Now, I hardly call that making an appearance.
That's what I want to talk to you about. It was my lawyer.
Is something wrong?
No, things couldn't be righter.
Righter?
All right, so I'm no grammarian. The point is, I've got great news. Well, I don't want to discuss it here. So, why don't we go someplace where we can talk? It'll make a big change for your life. Correction. Make that both of our lives.
This is the area being covered by the special teams that Ace and I hired. Now, unfortunately, they haven't turned up a thing today. And Sarah said that Clint had mentioned wanting to ride up here in a high country.
Yeah? Sarah, when was this?
It was the day before Clint disappeared. I really thought that I'd talked him into not going off alone, but, well, apparently I was wrong.
So I figure we ought to search this area right here today.
And that's where AC is now?
No, he's in town. He had to go into town on business. Something to do with the water rights here at the ranch. Since Clint's gone, until Clint gets back here...
We're going to find him. We are.
Damn, it's just so frustrating. I mean, we have searched all these areas over again and again and again. We keep coming up empty-handed.
What's going on with the sheriff's department?
Oh, the sheriff's department. They called off their search yesterday. That's why Ace and I went ahead and hired our own teams. I'm expecting a call from him any minute to check in, see how we're, the progress we're making, and I have to give him the same bad news now.
Is Vicky there with him?
No, Kevin's teacher called and wanted her to come in for a conference. Apparently Kevin's having a little trouble at school.
Oh, that poor little kid. I mean, first he's got to move to a new town, go to a new school, and now his daddy's missing.
I think he just needs a little time to adjust.
Damn, Clint's got to be out there someplace. Maybe we'll have some luck searching this high country.
Yeah, well, I kind of doubt that. No offense, but I think y'all been looking in the wrong spot.
So then I painted the horse purple and rode it backwards down Main Street.
What?
Just checking.
Oh, sorry. I guess my mind was wandering.
Well, it didn't have to go too far, did it? You still got it bad for her, don't you?
Who? Cass?
She's the only ex-wife in the room.
Look, why don't I get you some more punch?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
No, I'm not taking no for an answer.
All right, if this question is so important, why don't you just ask me right here, right now?
Because once you hear what it is I have to say, you're going to want to be in a place where you can thank me properly.
I can't leave, John. Plus, Melinda's doing the show. What if something goes wrong? She's going to need me here.
Come on, if you go with me right now, I'll have you back in time for the show.
All right, all right.
All right? Great. I'll get the coats.
I'd really love to stay, but I've got to get downtown.
Well, I'm so glad that you could be here.
And I want to wish you a lot of luck with the show. Not that you're going to need it.
Thank you.
Whoa. We seem destined to keep bumping into each other. Here, let me help you with these.
No, that's all right, Father. It has taken me 5 hours to get this straight.
I think what you need to do is sit down and take a good long breath, and then perhaps you can tell me what's wrong.
No, I don't have time. I just don't.
Look, I was on my way out. Why don't you join me and get a bit of fresh air?
No, I've got to get back to the office, Donald, really.
Come on, it'll be a friendly walk. It'll do you good.
Oh, okay, all right. For just a few minutes.
Okay. Once around the block, I promise. Put these here. Come back and get them later.
Would you be really upset if I left right now?
Why? Something wrong?
Well, I don't know. John is acting really weird, and if I didn't know better, I would say that he's about to pop the big question.
Cassie, that's wonderful. It's not wonderful.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Why? You love him.
Yes, I do, but...
Wait. Does this have anything to do with Rob?
Let's just say that I'm not ready to have John ask me to marry him.
I thought that's what you wanted.
Your coat, my dear?
Thank you.
Melinda, I'm sorry we've got to take off like this.
Oh, it's okay. Thanks for coming.
Cord, I know that you know this territory much better than I do, but what makes you think that we've been missing something?
Well, this looks like the only territory that you haven't covered.
What? Settlers Pass? I flew over that when I was coming in here. There's nothing out there but rocks, thickets, ravines. Blind or not, Clint knows his land, you know? He would avoid that area.
Yeah, I know, but if he was using the horse as his eyes, who's saying where the horse is going to go? Maybe he's going to go up into that kind of country.
You know, I think Cord might be right. Now, I remember Clint saying something to me one time about wanting to send some ranch hands out to rope some wild horses. Now, the area that he was talking about sounds a lot like what you're talking about, Bo.
I just think that you all just might be stretching a little bit. Oakie's broke, you know? He's not some wild horse. He's not going to chase off into some box canyon where there's snakes, mesquite.
I don't see the harm in at least checking it out.
It would take days to search that territory, Cord. I just can't see wasting our time looking in an area that the horse would never even go to.
The horse was drugged. Now, he very well may have gone up there.
May I say something, please?
Please do.
Look, I really think we're losing sight of our objective here. Now, you're both here. That means we have extra manpower, right? If there is even the slightest chance of Clint being there, we gotta check it out.
You know, Sarah is right. We should be looking for Clint. We shouldn't be debating horses.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get all bent out of shape about this.
It's okay. I'll tell you what. Let's just climb in that helicopter. We'll go out and check Settlers Pass right now.
Actually, I'd prefer to go out on horseback.
Are you kidding me? That's going to take forever.
Yeah, I know, but it would be much more thorough, and I can go to places that you'll never see from the air.
And then we're going to be sending a search party out to look for you.
Now, what are you talking about? I know that area like the back of my hand. There we go again, huh?
You know, this reminds me of the old days, you know. Clint and me, we used to stand toe-to-toe and go after each other, too. And it used to drive me crazy, but I respected him. And I'm just glad to see that you've inherited his ability to stand up for what you believe in, too.
Thanks.
So I think it's about time I rev up that chopper, and I'll be looking for you out there, okay?
Great.
Good luck.
You too. Let me just check this one more time, then I gotta go.
Cord, do you think he's out there?
You know, I really have this feeling that we're gonna find him. I just hope that it's not too late.
Are you?
Well, buddy, I told you I was going to get an early start, but I wasn't going to leave without saying goodbye, or without giving you this.
Tape recorder?
You can use it quite a while before the batteries wear out. Then you're gonna have to wait a whole lot of years before you can use it again.
Oh, I got something for you, too. My grandpa gave this to me right before we moved out here.
Buddy, you sure you want me to have that?
Only to you. I just hope Maisie here takes you across those 100 years.
Buddy, I just feel in my heart that that's what she's gonna do. Take care of your family.
Yeah.
We interrupt this program to bring you an programming.
You gotta take care of yourself, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's a luxury I just can't afford right now, not when Clint and my son are both missing.
Look, Curly shouldn't be back for another hour or so, and you look exhausted. Why don't you go get some rest?
Oh, well, I wish I could.
What is that supposed to mean?
See, I keep having this bad dream, and it scares the living hell out of me.
Well, dreams can be very real and very scary.
Yeah, well, this one is so real that I feel like it's really happening.
What's the dream about?
You remember when Patrick London put that bomb in my camera?
I certainly do.
Yeah, well, in this dream, I keep dreaming that I'm back at Thanksgiving and the whole family's there, and I'm just about to take this picture. Only this time, Patrick doesn't come in to save the day. I hit the shutter button, and the camera explodes. There's no noise, though, and there's this incredibly bright light. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything's gone. It's just darkness. And out of the darkness, I hear these voices of everybody calling out for help. I hear Vicky, I hear you, I hear Clint, I hear the boys, I hear Asa. And then I hear this little baby cry. And I'm standing there reaching out into the darkness, and I can't do anything. And then the voices just start fading away. And I'm left standing there in the darkness alone.
And then what happens?
And then nothing happens. I'm still standing there, worthless and helpless to do anything. It's like I just can't make a difference.
You know, a lot of my patients have a similar kind of dream of being lost. Except for them, I think it's a little more of a reality. And I can see them reaching out and struggling with their blindness. Some of them give up. But most of them don't. Most of them are like Clint. And they have to face their worst fears, and they do, and they don't give up.
So what you're saying is that I shouldn't give up.
Clint never does.
Sarah, do you think there's still a chance that we're going to find him alive?
We have to believe that there is.
I keep hoping that there is. I just hope we find him soon.
Staring at your food ain't gonna put it in your stomach, bud. You got to use your fork.
I ain't hungry.
Well, you're gonna have to get used to my cooking, you know. Since May's gone off and got married, there ain't gonna be nothing but chuck wagon specials around here.
It's not the food. It's Clint.
You missing him already, huh?
Why do you have to go and leave us like that? Didn't he like us?
Well, of course he did. But he's got his own family. Don't you think they're missing him, too?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, a man's got to have his family, son. Somebody to look after him, care for him.
I know, but Clint was just so special. There's never going to be anyone like him again. Well, not that you ain't special, Pa. You're very special. But, you know, Clint could tell me things that haven't even happened yet.
Well, he did have a talent for saying how things are going to come out.
And that's because he's from the future.
What?
Yeah. He says where he comes from, there are all sorts of great things. Like horseless carriages and machines that think. He also said there's this little box that they call the TV, and that they can see stories on it, then they're about, people like you and me.
Next thing you're going to tell me there really is a man in the moon.
Yeah, and his name was Neil Armstrong. How did you know that?
Buddy, don't you think maybe you're letting your imagination run a little wild?
I'm not making this up. Okay. Why do you think that he couldn't tell us where he was from? Because he's from 100 years from now.
You sure he didn't say 100 miles?
You don't believe me, do you?
Buddy, listen, all I'm saying... A boy needs heroes, all right? And Clint was special. There's no doubt about that. But you shouldn't go making him out to be something that he wasn't, or you're just going to wind up being disappointed. Do you understand?
Yes, Papa.
Good. Well, now, I got some chores to do. You go and finish your breakfast and clean up in here, and then come on out and give me a hand.
Yes, sir. Pa doesn't believe what you said about the future, Clint. Well, I sure do. Besides, you gave me this talking machine, didn't you? Darn it, Clint, why'd you have to give me something that I can't use without wearing down? Unless I get more of those batteries. I'll just have to follow Clint and get a whole fistful of them batteries. There's no way Pa can tell me I'm telling tall tales again.
In a consumer magazine,